Actually, when they say whether a person is successful, what does it mean to be successful? To have succeeded in making money, cars, houses. For me, it's important whether you've succeeded in creating a harmonious marriage, raising children, discovering what draws you, and most importantly, succeeding in following your heart. How many people can say that they have followed their heart, what is inside them, and done it while they are alive? Both of us are from Sofia, as strange as that may seem to many people, born in Sofia. Even our grandmothers are from Sofia. And when we met, we had no idea about villages or such things, but apparently it lived within us because 10 years after the start of our marriage, we both realized we longed for nature, for the countryside.
I was very surprised that he likes rural activities, that he really liked the idea of the village. I like that the idea of the village involves sleeping, eating, right? Not with work, not with work, by no means. To come and sleep and eat.
But over time, I no longer want to live from here. I have completed.
I'm even wondering how to say it. Academy of Fine Arts. Before that, the High School of Fine Arts. However, I never worked in something similar because the last job I had in my field was for 100 marks per month. And with 2 children, I urgently had to find something to work on. And one of my hobbies became a profession. I started maintaining aquariums. It turned out that there is a market niche for this. I gained more clients, and so for 25 years. But at one point, I felt it was turning into a routine. I saw that I could do it. I did it. It's nice, but every day is the same. And as the years went by, we raised our children, and it turned out that something was missing for me. It turned out that I wanted nature to live so much, that life in the city seemed fake to me. And it happened that we received an inheritance of 2 meadows here, to which we became attached and started coming more regularly. Somehow fate arranged things so that we ended up being owners of a rural property, and we had to think about what we would do with it. Of course, we could have abandoned everything and left it to grow wild and become neglected. However, I have actually dreamed my whole life of having land, a garden, and I think this is some kind of golden opportunity, a gift from fate. I started thinking about what kind of livelihood we might have if one lives in the countryside. Because it was like a jungle. You can't even imagine what it was like, how the land looked. And I thought only bees can thrive here. I found a beekeeping course, signed up and learned a new profession in my later years. However, our first visits were in a tent. Peanuts? Yes. Here, we also gathered the impressions of the local people.
They come in a tent.
Did I have to convince you that you should come to the village or not?
I never imagined I would go live in a village path, but now, for the moment, I do not regret it at all. This is my home. I don't want to go anywhere else. I don't want to leave. Here, my happiness is here.
How many beehives did you start with and how many do you have now?
Oh, my idea was for 4 beehives, but very quickly they became 40. And then I was convinced here to participate in a program, and now it is. There should be 120, but there's still 90. And of course, with beehives, the numbers always fluctuate, but that's not the most important thing. The important thing is that I strive to, on a large scale, because my idea is to show that in the countryside, in the wild, food can be produced and there can be a livelihood, a business that is needed by someone. And the efforts are almost the same as for 20 or 50 hives, but there just needs to be a quantity for it to be profitable. This is a simple economic law.
Which came first, the desire to live in the village or the desire to raise bees, or did both appear together?
Now that I think about it, I have to tell you lately, when we were little, my brother used to say, one day she'll take 2 sheep and run away into the forest. I don't know why, he saw something in me. However, now I can't remember which was first. I always wanted to have a garden. I even kept an aquarium once. I saw the plants more. At one point, I even said to myself, God, how come I don't have 1 square meter of my own land? And he heard. And now here I have 5.5 acres. But they started to get small for me, so I bought another meadow of 11 acres. Why? I'm starting a new garden there from scratch, because here we are making the garden, learning. Mistakes are hard to fix, because once you plant trees, it's difficult to move them later. However, it turned out that the way this garden develops is very organic. Learn in a form and following, because I do not believe in chemistry, in agriculture. I think that nature has devised the mechanisms by which things happen.
Did you start learning these things when you came here?
Well, yes.
Things related to the garden and you?
At the beginning, I tried to farm as I was taught by my grandmothers and saw that nothing worked. It was simply a struggle. I struggled, the plant struggled. I started to think that something was not right. No, it can't be done that way. And I started to take an interest. And actually, I heard about Sepp Holzer from fellow beekeepers. And that was like a revelation. He is currently a living classic of permaculture from Austria. High up in the Alps, he grows absolutely everything. It is incredibly inspiring to see how, by doing exactly the opposite of what we are told, that agriculture is done in one way, he does the exact opposite and achieves great results. We must learn from nature, rather than fight against it and try to kill everything which creates. On the contrary, we imitate its ideas, the processes that occur in nature. Simply, a person becomes a manager and guides them in the direction they want, that is, food production. And this food already has completely different properties. In principle, we have a permaculture farm, a mini model of how the human race should generally function. We need to process everything that comes out from we leave behind. Actually, we only throw out the plastics outside the farm. Everything else is processed on the farm.
When did the hobby and interest in bees actually turn into production and become a ready product that not only you and your close ones consume?
This became like an explosion because I thought I would keep 4 beehives and we would eat our honey ourselves, just for my people here. However, the circle of my people gradually expanded. And now everyone who wants to eat clean food is part of my circle. Because actually, it's something like a movement. The people who become self-aware as conscious individuals, who don't want to be just cogs in an already creaking machine, become aware and start seeking other paths. The first thing is what you eat. People start thinking about what they eat, thinking about their health, because there is no one else to think about it but us. Everyone must take responsibility for their existence. You can't expect doctors to cure you if you haven't done everything that depends on you before that.
What kind of honey is this now?
Well, this is linden from last year because the linden hasn't bloomed yet this year. Look at this beauty, look, gold.
Do you remember the first honey you extracted? How did you feel then?
Try it. Well, I remember it was still in Reduta when I had put some small beehives in a little yard there. Did you like it?
Yes, a lot.
I didn't have machines yet, I had nothing. The honey was just flowing from the combs in Sofia. That linden honey, there's an amazing pasture there.
Where in Sofia?
Everywhere. So right now in the cities, it's very good for bees because there are many flowers, many parks, and it's even considered better in the city than in the agricultural areas.
And how did you view these ideas about the bees with the garden? Did you support her from the very beginning, or were you puzzled by her?
Well, my support was watching the grandchild, what she was doing. But that's her decision, and I never stopped her from doing what she wanted.
We make compromises.
Yes, yeah.
But he realizes that the woman must be happy for the family to be happy. Did construction help you to do things here by yourself?
Because if we didn't know how to work in construction, it would have been very difficult for us.
And we probably wouldn't have bought the house at all.
Yes, it would have been very difficult for us and for Mom because there are fewer and fewer people willing to work, and I can work.
Right, and those who will come to here in the forest to work for you. Can you imagine how you will find people?
What do you grow here?
You know, it would be harder for me to say what I don't watch than what I watch because I try everything. I'm interested in everything. Actually, garlic is my strength. I grow a variety of German garlic that Uncle Mitko from Bachkovo gave me. And to be honest, I can't complain about the harvest. Just at one point, not even at one point, I very often give away food. We can't manage to eat everything. In the city, you wonder if you will have enough money to buy this. You simply can't do it here. You don't have time to harvest it, process it, and eat it.
A friend of mine had told me, I had mentioned to him that I go to the village to work, and he said to me, are you crazy? Or what are you going to do in that village? There are no people, Sofia is Sofia. But it turned out that in Sofia, from work to home, we don't go anywhere. Here, the village, no matter how small it is, it's not small. I will always go down to the center and see 10 people. So here in the village, I can interact with more people than in Sofia, as strange as it may seem.
People told us it's not possible for people from Sofia to go live there. Why? I can't understand why. What is the problem? Life is here. We live truly.
Actually, Catherine is once again a protagonist of the show To Hit the Road, which we've filmed here near a village. How did you find yourself in the countryside?
Well, you know how the saying goes, birds of a feather flock together. It turned out that we have common interests, and sooner or later, people like us find each other.
I learned about Deliana from other people and really wanted to see this edible forest she created here and how she keeps bees in the forest. And I started coming here and we began to exchange more and more experience. I really love coming to her garden. For me, this is a dream garden. Every time I come here, it's like an expedition. I discover what she's growing, and she has so much to share. Why does she grow it this way? How does she grow it? What has she tried? What works? What doesn't? And I enjoy her extra wonderful place. 8 years after coming from New York and the United Nations headquarters, you ended up here in Todorovo, in the area. How is your farm progressing and the production of natural jams, of marmalades?
It is developing well at the moment. The year is difficult. Very.
This year we have absolutely no cherries and almost no fruits and berries. Everything froze. My idea was to focus on fruits this year. After they froze, I turned to vegetables, and that's another reason to communicate more and exchange seeds, experience seedlings. Do you still have that ambition and drive to develop? Do you still keep that spirit you had at the beginning when you started?
Well, we mutually inspire each other, you know? And that's the most valuable thing. It's not just about discussing how things are done. We motivate each other. And after meeting and talking, each of us goes back to the garden with renewed energy and joy.
It definitely helps a lot to receive support and inspiration from people who are passionate in the same direction. This strongly supports each other.
You know, when there aren't such people, there have been moments when I sit and think, am I not crazy? Is there something wrong with me? But when you see it's not, actually that's normal. You see, a person should be passionate about their work. It's not, you know, doing something out of necessity. It's just passion.
What does this physical labor bring you? You say that the feeling after this exhaustion is incredible.
None of us takes pills. No high blood pressure, no pills, we don't take them.
And second, well, what can I say? I blend with what's around me. I become a part of it. And the feeling is such harmony. Harmony is the word. I don't know why people struggle so much to take that step. But everyone decides for themselves. Sooner or later, I think everyone will realize that normal life is on Earth. With it.
Perhaps many people are afraid because of the financial aspect. Because, for example, you left a working business, something you created yourself, to start here from scratch.
But do you know fear? And actually, what is the choice? Money or life? Money or life? Do you understand?
Oh, there was really this fear. If it comes here, what will I do, right? But everything worked out. God is with us and everything is already fine. And Sofia is close. We can always go for a little work and come back, right? You have a door open.
Hey, look, if you can do something with your hands, you won't go hungry. There is such a shortage of people who can do something. I'm really scared. It's scary. Everyone can use the phone, the computer, but what do we do with artificial intelligence? This thing is going to take off.
And hands will always be needed. Someone to knead the bread, someone to plant something, to milk the sheep, and so on, right? There to build something. So we have many professions. When you look at it realistically, we will always be working on something.
In fact, this fear that artificial intelligence will take over many professions is making young people who until yesterday dreamed of being in the office and at a desk move to the village and do something with their hands.
I don't think it comes from that. It might amplify it, but in my opinion, the young are much more open-minded, they are much purer. Especially now, the generation that are coming, they are not as crushed by ideologies as our generation. They see things much more realistically. And for me, this is an inherent human need for contact with nature. Besides, young people see very well the distortion of our civilization. Here we can see permaculture in action. So the spinach we ate in the spring has started to flower. It was planted last year. All winter we ate spinach. And when it started to bloom, I planted broccoli among it to nurture and care for it while it's small and tender. And now the spinach is going away, the broccoli has grown, and soon I will harvest its seeds and it will be mulched here, leaving the broccoli. Then different things alternate and combine in this way. Nowhere in nature do we have just one thing, and that's it, nothing else. Everything simply lives together in very nice relationship. Every square meter, every centimeter has something planted. And unlike people, plants understand each other very well, so they find a way to live together in harmony, even though some think otherwise. However, look at it, the parsnip has grown taller than me. I have never been happier than I am now. In my entire life, different things, different situations, professions, life situations. I've never been so happy. I now feel like I'm in paradise. It's physically difficult, but to go to bed at night tired, yet happy and fulfilled. Here, the smallest thing I do, it brings you joy. In Sofia, it's like a mechanism where you work to make money, start to spend it, right? Some kind of, exactly like a hamster wheel, complete nonsense. It's very strange, and I've wondered why it's so different. Whether it's because I'm on the earth, and there is somehow some contact with the earth itself as a living being. Each other, that we produce our own food, that we don't have those nerves, that rush for meaningless things. I don't know what exactly it is, but such satisfaction, such happiness, I never imagined I would achieve. Actually, when they say if a person is successful, what does it mean to be successful? To have made money, cars, houses. For me, it is important if you have managed to create a harmonious marriage, to raise children, to manage to discover what attracts you, and most importantly, to have succeeded in following your heart. How many people can say that they have followed their heart, what's inside them, and done it while they are alive? Because at one point, I imagined, on their deathbed, what will you think? I thought, imagine that you didn't do what you wanted. But why? What stopped me? What could stop me? I wanted to do it. I did it. It just turned out that it's my nature to be here and do what I do.